Hi, everybody, and welcome to our course, Intermediate Accounting 205. Here, in a very accelerated way, we're going to do the first semester of Intermediate Accounting, and then in the fall, we will follow that on with Accounting 206. Here, of course, is the summer session, and as you see, we go from June 16th through the 10th. Okay, here's a little bit about the course. My name is Steve Wilson. The ticket number here, 59923. This course is deployed entirely asynchronously, and that means we will have no class meetings. So I do offer, however, every Saturday morning from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, optional tutoring, which I think you're going to find is very valuable to you. I go through exam questions before they're due. I go through quiz questions, any questions, not to mention any advice you might want as far as your career goes. I know most of you want to major in accounting, so I tailor this class to a more mature audience, frankly, than I do for my 101 courses. You can email me at the following email, but don't hesitate if you have something a little more urgent to give me a phone call. And here's my number. I don't like texts, unlike my my daughters and my wife who love texts. I don't. So please feel free to make an actual phone call where we can talk together if you need that. Again, entirely online, and our term, of course, is summer. In this course, we're going to go through basically the 101 course on steroids. And so you will find that that's what we delve into, as you will find out as we go through it. This syllabus tends to be a little long, and so here the little beauty is I have a table of contents with these lovely hyperlinks, which will take you to any section very easily in this syllabus. All right, so the only time we're going to be using Zoom is when we have our Saturday morning meetings, which tend to be a lot of fun, very informal, and very easy to use. And we do that live streaming on again Saturday morning. You can earn up to 21 extra credit points. You'll earn 3 extra credit points for every hour you spend with me in those sessions, which works out to a point for every 20 minutes. And so I think you're going to find that those are very helpful. Some of the questions that are asked in the textbook are complex, and it's very helpful, I think, to be able to dig into those a little bit more, and perhaps I can guide you a little bit in that process. Okay, so I'll let you read the mission statements on your own, the course learning objectives on your own, the student learning outcomes. Here, you're going to learn how to analyze business transactions in more depth than you did for the 101, or if you're coming to me from other community colleges or universities, the basic financial accounting class. You'll develop some proficiency in accounting for assets, and I think one of the real nice advantages of this course is the much deeper understanding you'll have for the time value of money. I have my instructional videos for every chapter, so you can listen to my lectures at your convenience using those videos, just like you're listening to this video now. I may supplement the text with articles, etc., etc. I also strongly encourage you to actually read the syllabus once we're through with this video overview. You'll find when we get to the course that it's in that course. course. So here's our textbook. You're going to find that this is a lovely, lovely textbook. And it's a Wiley textbook, so it's maybe a little different than the McGraw-Hill textbook that you might be used to. This textbook will be the same textbook that we use for the 206 course in the fall. So to move on to the fall textbook, all you need to do is pay the additional $76.95, and away you go. So this is everything you need to know to order your textbook. I think you want to do that as soon as possible. And as I say, I go through all my lectures, and those will be available to you on YouTube, and I'll show you how to do that in a few minutes. But I think that you want to be sure in this abbreviated 8-week period to hit the ground running for this course. There is a lot of content in this course, and I want you to do well in the course, but more importantly, I want you to understand this subject matter. So, because I know that maybe 80%, something like that, for the CPA test is based on what you're learning in these 2 semesters of intermediate accounting. So it's critical to hit the ground running for this course. So get off to a fast start. And I have some review materials if you're feeling a little rusty on basic accounting in the modules of the Canvas course when we get to that. So here we have access to Wiley Plus. Wiley Plus is basically the equivalent of McGraw-Hill's Connect. And here's where you're going to be doing your exercises, problems. I have some IFRS exercises and problems, the exams, and some optional assignments as well for extra credit, and away you go. I think if you do the work in this class, grades aren't going to be an issue. I think it's a work-oriented class. If you do the work, you're going to do very well in this class. But you do need to get that textbook package and get yourself all set up for Wiley Plus. And I have some videos that are in the modules, which I'll show you in a few minutes when we get to the 3rd video in this series here. And but you must register for Wiley Plus using the access code. You will need an access code to be able to do that. And if you just were to buy a used textbook, you're not going to get that access code. So usually it's going to be easier just to order the thing from the bookstore or through Wiley. Okay, Wiley technical support, unlike McGraw-Hill, is not available for students, or for that matter for me, on a dial-up basis. I have a contact at Wiley, and if I can't handle the problem, we will defer it, and there'll be no penalty associated with any technical issues that are beyond a student's control. So here, I expect some basic knowledge in Microsoft Office, especially Excel, basic. Not expecting miracles. Although when you get out in the real world, I think you're going to find that Excel is particularly useful. Okay, so during the exams, we should not be using cell phones, iPods, iPads, any of those. And you can't record my instructional video lectures, but they will be available for free for you after this course is over in YouTube. And I'll show you how to do that in a few minutes as well. Good idea to have a simple calculator. We won't be doing much in the way of calculations other than adding and subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. But I think you're going to find you want to have a calculator available, especially for exams and quizzes and that kind of thing. It's a good idea to form some interactive discussions with students. They're totally optional on your part. and away we go. Okay, email for the course, you must use Santa Ana College email. And when you do, please place the words ACCT 205 59923 in the subject field in addition to your actual subject. That will allow me to identify you immediately as a Santa Ana student, and I can get back to you much quicker that way. Okay, access to Canvas. I think you've all had Canvas before, but it's one of the course management systems we use at Santa Ana College, and this shows you how to get into that. If there's any problems with that, Santa Ana has a distance education department. I give you the phone number here and the email address. Contact them. Don't feel free to do that. They want to help you succeed, as do I. So please do that. If you have any Canvas technical questions, they have a support number that they monitor 24/7. And I was a little dubious that in fact was the case, but I called them on Christmas Eve at 11:45 at night, and they were there. So I'm going to believe that they're there 24/7. And I give you those two phone numbers for Canvas as well. Due dates are contained in the syllabus. You'll find them in the modules, which again I'll show you in a few minutes, but they're also on the last page of this syllabus, which we'll get to also in a few minutes. Okay, withdrawals from the course. I won't automatically drop you if for whatever reason you need to drop. Please do it yourself. I'm required to drop you if you don't show up for the first assignments. And other than that, please be responsible to do that on your own if in fact that's what you want to do. I rarely have dropped students from my intermediate class. I'll let you read failing withdrawals. Good idea to have all your information recorded at the admissions and records office. Sometimes I need to contact you when time is of the essence, and if I can't, I'll make the best decision I can, which may not be in your best interest. So please keep your information up to date and the admissions and records. Okay, ethical responsibilities, I'll let you read those on your own. Here's our regular points. We have 800 points for 4 exams at 200 points each. We have homework, 12 chapters, 20 points each, 240 points there. We have problems, 11 chapters, 30 points each for 330 points. We have some IFRS exercises and problems. There's 9 chapters there at 10 points each, and a little icebreaker discussion and syllabus quiz worth 10 points each. Regular points are 480, but I have some lovely extra credit assignments. We have adaptive learning assignments. They are individualized and personalized learning modules. Very helpful. They're 10 points per chapter, so that there's 130 extra credit points available, 13 chapters at 10 points each. We also have CPA practice problems. There's 11 chapters that include those, and most of you, I think, are going to sit for the CPA exam at some point in time. So you have another chance to get another 82.5 extra credit points at 7.5 points per chapter in 11 chapters. Okay, so I highly encourage you to complete all the extra credit assignments because total points, not percentages, are what I'm going to use for your final letter grade. Remember that percentages in Canvas are often incorrect because Canvas thinks that extra credit is regular points. Okay, that looks like a good place for us to stop our first video, and when we return, we will carry on with point allocation and grading. Until that time, bye for now.